Hello kids, it's Mr. Aja here, and I would like to talk with you about what to do during your inquiry enrichment time each day. So this is an instructional video for you to know what to do for these full 3 weeks of home learning between now and winter break. Okay, so we're in project time. We've talked about government governance. We did some activities in class for the virtual learners. I posted Miss Roth's Padlet that had information about all of the things that you need to know to work on these projects. And of course, the inquiry time is about you following your interests, but we also have some things that you are supposed to know. So here's the home page. You've noticed I've simplified it. There was a lot of noise on it before. I want to try to make sure everything is very, very clear to you. So up top here, we've got your virtual schedule. I'll go ahead and click into that so you can see. And it's pretty clearly outlined for you everything that you have to do on each day. Any time that's in blue is time that you're on the video with me in a Teams meeting. The dark blue is when I'm doing direct instruction and leading you through some activities, and the light blue is when you're still on your camera, but you are doing work that I've assigned you to do, and I'll be there for you to ask questions and whatnot. The white times are times where you are on your own, and you'll notice from 9:20 all the way up to 11:10 each day, you are on your video camera with me. And then you've got your related arts time. So this is asynchronous. You and your family can manage this however you see fit. Like for example, if you wanted to swap this out with your lunch period, if you get hungry around 11:10 and you want to have lunch at that time, make it your lunch time and then have this time here be your related arts time down here at lunch and recess. That's up to you and your family to decide how you want to manage your independent asynchronous work time. But you can see that this period is set aside 11:10 to 11:40 each day of the week for you to do your related arts work. Then we've got reading workshop live and in quote unquote in person together up until 12:55, followed by lunch recess. Now it gets a little so every day is the same up to 1:30 here. Now at 1:30 on Mondays, you'll have a writing activity posted in the writing folder, but on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we do writing together. And then if you notice Friday, there is no writing on the schedule, it's Golden Block. And the Golden Block is a daily expectation where you're working towards your goals in Lexia and Dreambox. So if you meet your goals in Lexia and Dreambox early in the week, that's more of a free learning time for you. But the golden block follows writing on or follows word study. So we've got independent word study on Mondays. On Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're doing word study with me, and then the enrichment activity follows the golden block period every day except for Wednesday. So Monday 3 to 3:55, Tuesday 3 to 3:55, Wednesday is Naptown Fitness. Thursday 3 to 3:55, and Friday that time is 2:15 to 3 o'clock. So those are all the periods that you're going to be working on what I'm getting ready to tell you about, which is mini projects related to our governance unit in the theme how we organize ourselves. So I'm going to go out of the schedule and back into your home page of um, our Schoology page, and this is where we'll do our live meetings, of course. Your work for this week and for inquiry will be the same all throughout this break period. So we've got our math folder, reading folder, word study, writing. In the inquiry folder, you'll see there's plenty of stuff posted. Your main job, your number one job is this one here, the governance mini projects choice board. So we believe that kids should have a choice in what they do and what they learn. And this is one of the ways that we're going to try to achieve that goal of giving you some choices in your pursuit of knowledge and your ability to do projects related to what you learn. So we'll click into here And you'll see it's a Google Doc that you have access to. It's under the IB theme, How We Organize Ourselves, and the unit title is Governance. And you've got some choices here of many projects. So I'm going to read the directions to you and you can try to make sense of it. You might need an adult to help you understand what you need to do, but I think it's pretty clearly written here. And if you have questions about it, please, please, please ask me. Send me a message in Schoology or write me an email or ask me directly during one of our synchronous times when we're together. But here are the directions. For each box in the choice board below, you will have to create some kind of response or presentation. You have many choices. You can use any of the following formats. You can make a poster, a pamphlet, a Google Docs um, written page or typed page. You can use Google Slides. You can use PowerPoint, a diagram, a drawing, a video. You can create a song or a rap. You can do a photo. You can do a mini book, write a mini book, or you can dream up something else entirely. But the idea is you're going to complete and submit at least one mini project per week until winter break. So you've got 14 days of school starting today, Monday, November 30th, and your last day of home learning until winter break is December 17th. It's a Thursday. So each week you're responsible for completing at least one of these projects. So if you count the weeks, it's 3 weeks. You should have 3 projects by the end of the week. So the projects are all listed here. You've got 8 choices. If you are a dynamo and you are doing your very, very best work and you complete a project and you're ready for more, you can do more than 3. You can do all 8 of them if you choose, but you need to do at least 3 of these projects. So just going through, it's a one-page document here. Um, the basics are this. The first project is related to you telling me everything you know and have learned about the 3 levels of government. That's the federal level of government, the state level of government, and the local level of government. So we've got some videos here that you can watch to remind you and refresh you. You've also got in the extension activities, I included this governance Padlet. It has boatloads of activities and videos that help to remind you of these things. So there's information you could search for here. You can also do an internet search on the 3 levels of government. Here's another activity, the 3 levels of government sort, that you can do in a CAMI document to remind yourself. There are lots and lots of things that you can do to arm yourself with information to complete this project on explaining the 3 levels of government. And remember, you've got all these different choices for how you're going to actually do the project. Here, under the theme of how we organize ourselves is kind of a fun little project. It's not necessarily related to government, but it is related to organization and how we organize ourselves. So find something in your home to organize and talk about it. What did you organize? Or draw a diagram of it. Do one of those interesting projects here. Maybe create a song or a rap explaining your organizational system. Um, and then you got to talk about how does it help? How does it work? What did you do? And so this would be a fun little way to explain, the purpose of organizing things and how to do it. We've got another government one here. So oftentimes we confuse the 3 levels of government with the 3 branches of government. Well, the 3 branches of government are a little bit different. These 3 branches exist at every level. So the federal has an executive, legislative, judicial branch. The state has an executive, legislative, and judicial branch, and local governments also have executive, legislative, and judicial branch. So you've got to explain these 3 things. What's the job of each branch? What do you call the people at each branch at the federal, state, and local government? So, for example, our Indianapolis Marion County government has a mayor. We've got a city county council for the legislative branch, and we've got a municipal court system that helps people, um, work with a judge to decide what's fair, what things that have happened to them, and what's fair. So that's another project that you can do. You could create your own local, state, or federal government. So you can make up your own country, make up your own state or your own city, and you describe who's the leader that at the top of the executive branch, who chooses the laws, the legislative branch, who or what laws would be in place in your fictional created government, and who would be the judges for your government, and what other things would be important there. So you could use real people like your friends or your parents or your parents' friends or teachers or any real people you know. And this kind of comes from the original project when I wrote this unit 12 years ago. We did a project called Do Better Indiana, and we did this exact thing where kids created a mini book about Indiana, and they chose their own governor, they chose their own lawmakers, and they explained why those people would be good for making the laws, and they chose their own judges and explained why those people had the qualities necessary to be a good judge for their version of Indiana. This is a fun one. If you want to do that one, be creative and have fun with it. We've got one related to the Pledge of Allegiance. So you create your own pledge and you kind of dig into what it means to pledge allegiance to something or someone. You've got one that's related to current events. So you can dig into an article on this kids news site called Dogo News, and you can analyze the article, talk about whether or not you agree or disagree with the article, and what other opinions you might have about the topic presented in that article. Um, You've got a project on citizenship. There's a video to watch here, and you can talk about in your project what is citizenship and why it's important. And then the last one is a wild card. You can create your own project related to government or how people organize themselves. Have a lot of fun with it. There are 8 project choices here. Here are some ideas for how you can do the project. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, be sure to ask. You can also, this is something where it's supposed to be your best work. It's supposed to be the highest quality work you can do. Check in with an adult about your project. Now, when it comes to submitting it, I want you to use the Schoology messaging app. So when you use the messaging app, you can go to new message, you message me, and if you look, you can create links to things that you create. So if you make a video, you can link the video here in this space using the resources that you upload to your Schoology site. So I want you to post your projects that you complete to me by submitting in the Schoology Messenger. So I'll be getting your projects through the Messenger function of Schoology. All right, I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions about this. I think it's pretty clearly outlined, but like any project, it's kind of like, well, what do I do with this? How do I make this my own? If you have specific questions, please ask. If you need more direction and you have some ideas about things you're interested in, we can talk about it. But the bottom line is you've got 3 projects minimum to create over these next 3 weeks, one this week, one next week. And when you look at the schedule, you can see, did I still have the schedule up? You can see in the schedule that you have 3.5 hours each week to work on this. So when you've got 55 minutes on Monday, 55 minutes on Tuesday, down here. So 55 minutes Monday, 55 minutes Tuesday, 55 minutes on Thursday, and 45 minutes on Friday to complete this work. So 3.5 hours each week. You've got approximately 10 hours over the course of these 3 weeks to complete 3 projects. Okay, so do the best that you can do in those 10 hours. That's all we can ever ask, is that you try your best and show what you know and have fun with it. Have fun. Okay. All right, do your best. I'm proud of you for trying your best, and I'm looking forward to seeing the cool things that you create in your projects.